Hey everyone, I wanted to share this video and channel with you guys from Chase Hughes.
And I'd like to introduce you to this new concept that I'm officially naming cause blindness.
So, this is a really good video. I just want to show you a short section of it. But he's talking about this right here. We focus on symptoms and not causes. So, have a look at this video with me and tell me, does this sound like dog culture? Two different ways that I want to see if anybody else notices this. First off, there is a cause of all the negative externalities of dog ownership, and the cause is the presence of the dog. Yet we focus on all the ways to quell the symptoms. More we got to take more allergy meds for the pet dander that's in our eyes. If the dog tears up the house, if the dog mauls a toddler, it's all because of some product or other thing that we didn't do to basically suppress the dog out of the dog. All these things with the dog culture, like hoarding, dog attacks on postal people, toddlers being killed. I think we're up to 13 or 14 in 2025 already from pit bull attacks. But we just look at the symptoms of this instead of looking at the core cause. And then there's the other thing that he's going to talk about, but we also focus on symptoms like, say we want something good, like we want to have like a solid family. What we do is we just give ourselves the symptoms of a family. And for me that's like, a fur daddy, I'm a paw parent, I'm a dog mom, it's a four-legged friend. We give ourselves all of these external kind of things that look like we're good people and we're a great family leader, yet we just fill our lives with dogs instead of looking back and looking for the cause. What would be the cause of having a great family? Well, that would be human friends, not filling your life with dogs. So let's have a listen.
So let me define what this is in real terms. Cause blindness occurs when a group or a person focuses heavily on some symptoms while they just ignore the cause completely.
Pit bull attacks.
In the pursuit of a goal, people will tend to desire the symptoms of the achievement instead of the cause of those symptoms. So let me give you an example. Cause blindness is easy to see in people who desire wealth. These people might focus on the symptoms of wealth, like a Lamborghini or a giant house or even some expensive yacht. The cause of that wealth is almost out of focus entirely. The cause would be things like 30,000 hours of work and sleepless nights invested in personal growth and
So compare this to dog owners, how they think of their dogs as family replacement for humans. Instead of actually raising a family, developing a relationship with the husband and wife, and raising their children without a bunch of dogs causing problems, what they do is they just go get a bunch of dogs. And it's like what he's going to describe here with people that want to look wealthy. Instead of adopting the habits and getting the causes of wealth into their life, they just fill their life with expensive things so they look wealthy on the surface.
pitfalls and failures that lead to the discovery of a person's wealth. These deep personal sacrifices that were made and diligent, tireless hours spent obsessing and researching maybe a particular field.
And you can see that same diligence in a mother or father that raise their children because they want a strong family, they want to build memories. And so getting a dog though is a quick replacement for that. The dog, you're just giving yourself the symptom of having a family by sticking a dog on your lap and saying that you're a fur daddy or whatever.
Another glaringly obvious example is just take a look at how many sales techniques are out there versus how many courses are out there actually teaching you how to make quality products.
Compare that to dog culture too. We have billions and billions of different checkpoints about how we're supposed to respect the dog. All these things that basically sell the dog into human environments: training, treats, dog beds, disinfectants for your house. All of this stuff. You can totally own a dog, guys. It's going to be fine. You just have to own all this stuff. but we really don't focus on the fact that the dog is a fanged predator and it's going to cause problems. And it's not that good of a product. So it's kind of like what he's saying here, too. We have all of this effort to sell stuff to people, yet low amount of effort to actually create a good product.
Yeah, pretty awful.
And dogs are not a good product, but they are something that is sold very, very heavily. And the risks and downfalls of dog ownership are not published in a way that we can find it easily.
So let's say someone wants to be more confident, for example. They might focus on the behaviors of confident people. They'll spend tons of hours studying speech patterns and movements and behaviors and all of these little things that confident people do. Then eventually, someone will write a book about all these details, this full blown reference volume of all of these symptoms of confidence. The belief is that if somebody could just get the symptoms all lined up in place, they're going to feel confident and then they're going to achieve their goals.
It's the same thing with dog culture. People outwardly are always displaying the symptoms of I'm a good person, I'm a good dog owner, even though their couches are chewed up, their toddlers are mauled, more and more credit cards going in the hole for vet bills. For example, dog hoarding in our country is ridiculous. It's through the roof, and more cases keep coming out. And so it's very similar to what he's talking about here. We don't look backwards at the presence of the dog, this fanged predator with a lemon sized brain that shouldn't be up inside of all of these human settlements. But instead, what we do is we go ahead and put the dog in the human settlement and then we display all of this stuff. And it's because we have cause blindness. The cause of all the issues that we're having is the dog. And if we wanted to have a good family, we should have put a proper cause into our life, not a dog.
This is kind of like someone telling you that taking duct tape and taping an orange to a bunch of random trees will make them all orange trees. Not really a good plan. So
No. And it's the same thing with people that own all these dogs. It's like you got a bunch of dogs duct taped into your life. They can never make a reservation for you. They can never do home repairs for you. They can never get a job or advise you on any type of finances or anything. But you stuck all these dogs to yourself and called yourself a family. You're not a family. You're a hoarder of a creature that can never develop empathy, that can never be a true family member. It's just a beast that lives in your house.
those oranges are symptoms of being an orange tree. So those behaviors of confident people are symptoms of a cause.
So think about that with the symptoms. Like, if you have a family, yeah, you're going to have challenges and you're going to have to loan some friends and family some money. But those friends and family hopefully can be good humans and help you later on when you're old. But having a dog is just a symptom of a family. Look at me, I'm blowing a bunch of money. My dog never matures. That's just a symptom of having a family. But having a dog is not having a family. It's just a crappy symptom of having a family.
They've spent their lives differently than other people. Their internal belief systems are radically different from people without confidence. They aren't moving their body or speaking a certain way because they read a list of how to do it. Their behavior is a result of causes, not forcing a whole bunch of symptoms. So, to sum this part up, their behavior is a product, a byproduct of confidence, not the other way around. The problems that a society as a whole faces are a byproduct of some cause, and these root causes are never discussed. So,
Yeah, we hardly ever discuss anytime something bad happens with dogs. I went to the movie for a couple hours and we got home and my house, the dog shit everywhere or chewed a hole in my carpet. Instead of looking at the cause, which is this beast is in your house, we try to play the whole symptoms thing. Well, the dog needed more doggy Prozac. Well, the dog was stressed out. And we completely forget about the cause and we try to focus on dumping all of our time and money into fixing a symptom.
whether it's a deliberate effort to ignore the real sources of the issues, or maybe people in government grew up with the same belief systems that we developed just to focus on symptoms, we might never know. But almost every problem we are facing as a nation or any society are likely a result of a lifetime indoctrination into focusing on symptoms and ignoring causes.
Yeah, give that some thought every time a police officer or politician talks about pit bull bans or dog attacks that are on the rise. They won't talk about the dogs. Like if there's all these stray dogs in Texas, for example, they won't talk about the cause being all these dogs breeding like crazy. They'll talk about we got to get more dogs in more homes. We got to get adoptions up. We got to spend, another 10, 20 billion dollars of your tax money on another dog shelter. Just focusing on the symptoms of the dog problem in our society.
If you're sitting down to write out your personal goals, focus on the causes that will make your goal a byproduct, a symptom. So instead of setting goals this year, think in terms of byproducts. So, what are the byproducts I want to happen in my life? And once you've got a list of byproducts that you'd like to have, determine the causes that you need to make them all happen automatically.
Yeah. If you want to be a quote unquote patriot or a good family member, or you want to give something back to society, then you should take care of your fellow humans, because when you get weak, when you get tired, when you pass on, they're going to still be alive and they're going to be able to help other people. But owning a dog is just an expense and a liability on the next generation of people.
When you see social issues or the news or politicians are getting you to focus on a new issue or a threat, remember that they're pointing to symptoms. And they probably don't want you looking too closely at what those symptoms are actually a byproduct of.
Yep. The symptoms are a byproduct of dog ownership. So have a look at this whole video on your own, and what symptoms of dog ownership do you guys see out there that we focus on day in day out? Dog attacks, FedEx drivers getting mauled, all of these other crazy things, and we barely ever talk about. It's the fact that we've brought all these dogs into our homes. We've become obsessed with them. We replace family with dogs, and a dog used to live out in our yard in a dog house. And dogs even lived longer back then without all of this other stuff that we give them to try to quell the dog out of the dog. So yeah, that has been our look at this Chase Hughes video. Hope you guys like it. Check out some of his other stuff. It's really good. See you later.